Welcome back to Mac Talks. Football and Real Madrid have nicked it. They have nicked their win against Marseille, winning 2-1 at the Santiago Bernabeu. So let's go ahead and talk about this game. I mean, it was a very hard game for Real Madrid. I said it in my prediction video as well. I said it is going to be a tough game for Real Madrid, and I went for a 3-1 win for Real Madrid. But this ended up even more tougher for Real Madrid than I would have expected, and in my opinion they made it tough for themselves. I mean, the way they started the game, they should have been easily 2-3-0 up before Marseille went ahead and scored that first goal, but they really did not take their chances. I think Marseille defended really good. You need to give credit to Marseille, the way they put their bodies on the line. Madrid were creating chances left, right and center, but they were either getting blocked, or the goalkeeper was having an amazing game. Like, he kept on making those saves, and Marseille frustrated the hell out of Real Madrid in those first 20 to 25 minutes, making sure that they don't concede. And they just waited and they defended, and Madrid kept on pushing them back and Marseille defended really well. I mean, sometimes you need to take your hat off, and you need to accept that the other team's defense was really good, and Real Madrid kept on, as I said, that was basically the plan from Marseille, that frustrate the Real Madrid so much that they start making mistakes, and then that's what happened. Real Madrid, I mean, Arda Güler gives the ball away, and Marseille hit them on the counter attack, and Timothy Weah with that goal. I mean, the way the composure to get the ball, to turn around and then to make the run, and then to score that goal with the entire Santiago Bernabeu cheering you and booing you. I mean, that takes some guts, and it was a really well a worked goal from Marseille. They take the lead 1-0, and it looked like Real Madrid, again I keep on saying, Real Madrid were frustrating. Even though they went behind, they kept creating chances, and they kept getting denied by Marseille, and then they go ahead and they make that stupid error. Kondogbia gives away that penalty. I mean, there was no need for that tackle. The moment he gets his leg out, you knew Rodrigo was going to take a tumble and he was going to fall down. It's not a dive. Why are you guys sticking your leg out? Why are you giving them a chance to come back into the game? You have done so well till now. You have gotten the lead as well. Why are you giving it away? They give it away. Mbappe comes up. A penalty for Real Madrid. Mbappe steps up, scores, and it becomes 1-0. But I would say, like, it's still credit to Marseille, even though it became 1-1, and then Real Madrid fans expected Real Madrid to come back and start scoring the scoring goals. It did not really happen. I mean, they had so many chances, but they were just not really, they were not really able to apply that finishing touch. And I think Xavi Alonso would be quite frustrated, and I would be quite annoyed at his players that they were not really able to finish their chances of as much as the great Marseille were at defending. And I'm not taking anything away from them, because they were brilliant in their defense. But Real Madrid, they should have a look at their chances. You have to score those chances. You need to score those chances if you really want to go ahead in this competition. This is their competition. This is Champions League. This is Real Madrid. But you need to score those goals. And it was the same story. And Marseille kept getting better and better as the game went on. In the first half, it felt like they were just going to defend, and they try to hit Real Madrid on the counter attack. But as the game went by, they started having more possession. They started creating chances themselves. They kept getting closer and closer. In my opinion, they had. I really felt like they were going to be the ones that they were end up going to scoring the goal. And they had a great chance. Real Madrid. I don't know what Dani Carvajal was thinking. Headbutting it, and Real Madrid get down to a 10 men. Second game in the season. It happened in the La Liga as well, and at that moment in time, you're really thinking that Marseille are going to take advantage of that. But completely different things happen. I don't know what happened. The moment that red card happened, Marseille, it felt like they just forgot what they were doing, and Real Madrid were really good. You have to give credit to Xavi Alonso. He makes the substitution, brings in Asensio, takes off Arda Güler, makes it 3 at the back, and that was so important. I mean, because Caracas, I mean, the way that forget everything else, right? Forget every part of the game. Last that 10-15 minutes after that red card incident, the way that Caracas played on that left hand side, I mean, it was like 4 or 5 times he snatched the ball away from Marseille player, and that resulted in them getting a penalty as well. It was a bit unfortunate because he's falling down, but again, you can clearly see that he intends to get his hand there, and it results in a penalty. Real Madrid get that penalty, and of course Kylian Mbappe steps up. Goalkeeper guesses the right way, but the power on his shoot is too much. He's not able to stop it. It becomes 2-1 and Real Madrid take the lead, and then that was it. The moment they scored that second goal, I knew Marseille were not going to come back, and they were not really able to come back. And it was a disheartening if you for Marseille. If you're a Marseille fan, you would be really disappointed. You would be annoyed because you did all that hard work and then to lose to Real Madrid, away to Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu because of 2 penalties. It is going to really sting. But I don't think it was unfair in any way. I think I think it was a fair result because Real Madrid were the better side. They created more chances. They should have scored 4 or 5 in that game, if I'm being very honest with you. But they were not really, they did not really have their shooting votes on, and Marseille were really good at defending. But as I said, Real Madrid played better. Xabi Alonso would be really happy that despite being down to 10 men, they ended up winning that game. As I said, all the headlines are going to be about Kylian Mbappe, him scoring the double and whatnot. But that second goal, I think that the pressure after the red card, it all happened because of Akaras on that left hand side. I mean, he had an amazing game. Overall, he had an amazing game, but those last 10 to 15 minutes, I think he was sensational. As I said, he took he dispossessed the Marseille players and like 4 or 5 times. So it just shows how hungry he was and how up for it he was in those last 10 to 15 minutes. And I think Marseille players, in my opinion, that after that red card, they sort of sat back and they thought they were going to take advantage instead of pushing it on and trying to be quite active. They sort of became lazy, and that resulted in them losing the ball so many times. If you look back at, I think over not only on that left hand side, I think they lost possession after that red card about 12 to 13 times. That's what if I remember correctly. And you don't really do that. I mean, in a situation like that, you are away to at Santiago Bernabeu, away to Real Madrid, you have a chance of going ahead and winning the game, and you just don't do that. So it is a learning thing for Marseille and Roberto De Zerbi. They are back in the Champions League after a couple of years, so it's a sort of a learning thing for them. I think they would be really happy. I think De Zerbi would be happy with the performance, not with the result, but I think he would be really proud with the way that his team defended, and this gives them the confidence, to think that they are good enough to qualify for the next round, whether it is in the top 8 or whether it is in the top 24. But the way that they played, I mean, they can go toe to toe with many teams in the competition, and I think they are going to have a good enough chance to qualify for the next round. Real Madrid, a perfect start for Xabi Alonso, 4 wins in a row in La Liga, and now winning his first game in the Champions League as well. So he couldn't ask for anything, but of course his Alexander Arnold gets injured and then Carvalho gets sent off, so that's a bit of a concern. But apart from that, I think a great night for Real Madrid, a disappointing night for Marseille, but I would still say I think they had a really good game as well. So yeah, that is it from me in this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the game. What are your views on Carvajal? What are your views on Marseille themselves and the penalties as well? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 600 subscribers as quickly as possible. That is the goal, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.